Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm your host Captain Rye, and in today's video, the first video of the 2018 year, I'm playing in the new Pan-Asia Destroyer Yue Yang, Tier 10 Pan-Asia Destroyer here in World of Warships. As the battle gets underway, it's obviously a Tier 10 matchup. It's Shards, and it's Domination match mode. Now, my team has started off with the Destroyer advantage, giving us 3 Destroyers to the enemy team's 2. However, the enemy team gets the Z-52, which is, if you've seen any of my other videos on it, a fairly good Destroyer when handled well, especially when hunting other Destroyers. The 2 Destroyers on my team, other than myself, are both Tier 8. One is a Benson, and one is a Yue Yang. Now, the Yue Yang is pretty reasonable, but if he runs into the Z-52, he's going to have a real tough time of things. The only other ship on the enemy team that I can absolutely say I'm scared to death of is going to be the Minotaur, simply because that thing rips apart destroyers with its insanely high rate of fire, and the fact that it usually has pretty decent hydro, and if you get spotted by one, with its quick turret rotation, they're going to be on top of you like that. Now, as I push up here into the sea cap point, I'm going to push myself out, not going to stay hovered next to the rocks because I don't want to get proximity spotted if somebody is hiding back there. In the meantime, I've got an enemy Montana who's popped up here, and he's going to sail in a relatively straight line. You'll see there he's a little bit far out, but the torpedo range on this ship, 13.5 kilometers, so that's not really a problem. Now, I haven't yet had the cap stop counting here, and I spotted a hipper pushing towards the cap location. Now, because I've spotted that hipper, that's going to greatly impact my decision-making process here. As you see here, I'm just about to cap out when the cap stops counting. Now, if you look at the minimap, the Z-52 has popped up at the A cap point. So I'm pretty sure that what's in the cap with me is actually the enemy Benson. And if it wasn't for the fact that I spotted that hipper pushing up that would basically be his cruiser support, especially with that German hydro, I would have probably gone full force around that island to try and take out that Benson, mostly because I know I can take out the Benson without too many problems. But friendly New Orleans here has popped his radar, and the Benson isn't in the sea cap point. What was up there was in fact the Minotaur, the one ship I absolutely do not want to run into, with the exception of the Z-52, but the Minotaur I think is a little bit more so. Now, I did connect one torpedo on that Montana, but you'll notice that one torpedo caused flooding, and that Montana is flooding. I'm still gaining quite a substantial amount of damage here every single second because the Montana has not figured out how to press his R key. So he's going to continue to flood, and I'm going to, looking at the situation, push around the side here and maybe see if I can finish off that Montana. Our team is already down one ship, and the enemy team has managed to secure both the A and the C cap point. However, we did get the B cap point, and we just managed to take out the enemy Benson. Now, the enemy hipper is pushing around the side of this island, and I'm kind of in a position here where if he keeps going, it's going to force me to the map edge, and I really don't want to be forced to the map edge here. Simultaneously, if he keeps going, he's going to end up spotting me. So I do have to do something to avoid that becoming the case, simply because he's back there, but there's also still that Minotaur, and there's still the Montana, who I would really like to get another torpedo hit on and finish off. Montana has put the flooding out. Now, I don't know if that was because he finally found his R key, or if it just naturally stopped. I'm kind of guessing it probably naturally stopped. Friendly New Orleans, however, takes shots at that hipper, and it's wonderful teamwork there because I definitely need that hipper dead. And so that hipper is preoccupied with the New Orleans. New Orleans going to get shots back at him. But there's also a friendly Missouri back over there, and that Missouri is going to put the hurt onto the last of the health that this hipper's got here. And since that hipper is turning hard and away, he's not continuing to chase me, I felt confident turning around. Missouri takes the hipper out, and so now my team is technically in the lead, both on points and ships, because we've managed to take out one of their destroyers and one of their cruisers. Enemy Rune up here has also turned himself around. He's decided he doesn't want to push around that island either. And there's the Montana. He keeps popping up here. Torpedo's almost up. The torpedo reload on this ship is actually pretty good. One of the reasons that I'm starting to prefer it more over any other destroyers, because the torpedoes, well, there are 10 of them. They're reasonably long range, and they've got a pretty quick reload. I think the reload on this is just a bit faster than the reload on the Gearing. And it's significantly faster than the reload on the Shimakaze. So, get torpedoes out at that Montana yet again. He's kind of turning around, and now we have our friendly Montana who's pushed through the B cap point, and he's kind of chasing the enemy North Carolina. But if you'll notice there, what's right behind him, he's got the enemy Minotaur pushing up hard right behind him, and he's not in a good position. I think he's actually beached himself, but he gets shots off at that North Carolina, and he leaves that North Carolina on very, very low health. But this is what happens when you don't pull your gun camera back and pay attention to what's going on around you. Enemy Minotaur manages to take out our Montana very, very quickly. And now the enemy team has also managed to take the ship's lead and ship's advantage here, because they've managed to kill 2 of our destroyers, take out 1 of our cruisers, and we've just lost our Tier 10 battleship. Speaking of the Tier 10 battleship here, that Montana hit him yet again with torpedoes. Only 1 caused flooding, and yet again, he hasn't hit that R key. And that is actually going to result in me earning a Witherer medal from 1 person, and there it is. Picked up the Witherer medal there. That means I've done 60,000 damage in flooding or fires, and obviously it's all flooding. He does finally find that R key. He presses it just 2 points over that 88,000 damage mark. And at this point, I would normally say I've done a pretty good game with 88,000 damage, but remember, this is all in 1 ship. Now, because he finally pressed the R key, that's going to make these torpedoes much more dangerous, especially if he continues the way he's going. Now, you see here, he's kind of changing course direction, so I dropped the second set a little bit behind him, thinking he might turn in, and we've secured the C cap point. Enemy team way up on points. They're in the 600 points. Our team's 372. So they have the lead, they have the advantage, but we now have 2 of the caps. So at the very least, if we can maintain a cap advantage, we might be able to pull it back. There's still just shy of 12 minutes left in the game. Now that set of torpedoes going out there, as you see, the Montana is disappeared, but my torpedo's still visible. There's 3 and 3 floodings because he hit that repair key earlier for that 1. Gonna finish him off with a Liquidator through flooding. A Liquidator and a Witherer, all within 9 minutes of the game. I swear that never happens. Now, the enemy team is going to make a push for the B cap point, and as you can see, they've started capping it here. Friendly Missouri, he's hightailing it out of the B cap point, and I don't blame him based on what's in the B cap point and pushing up there. Enemy Iowa there, you see, popped up briefly. But that Iowa is not alone. He actually has the Conqueror pushing up behind him, and he has the Minotaur also back there. The enemy Rune, as you can see last spotted on the minimap, is also going to push up into the B cap points. And the enemy team's really going to try and rally here, and they know they need to take it, and they need to kill things if they want to cement their victory. So I'm going to push up here. Torpedo's almost up again. There's the enemy Minotaur, and as you can see, he's coming straight for me. And like I said, it's a ship I really, really do not want to have to engage, but I'm in a prime position to do a lot of damage to this battleship. So I get both sets of torpedoes off here. This is a little bit of a replay bug with the binocular view here, and I'm going to go ahead and pop my smoke screen, and I'm going to start getting shots out onto this Minotaur. I really like this Minotaur dead, and it's looking like he's getting a big beating, and he does die. What's sad about that, though, is right after he dies, one of my torpedo sets hits him. So I could have, if I'd wanted to, gotten a kill there. At this point, I only have 1 kill, and it's from that Montana, who I managed to do 128,000 damage to. But look at that, more damage done as I connect torpedoes from the first set and the second set on both the Conqueror and the Iowa, and now both of them are in a world of hurt. So as they are taking hits here. You'll notice that I'm now detected briefly there. That was the rune's hydroacoustic, and I've decided I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to motor on out of here as quick as I can, partly because that Iowa was definitely paying attention. Now, I did earn my high caliber medal there with all the damage done. At this point, 200,000 damage. Still only 1 kill. The enemy team still currently in the lead because they have killed 5 of our ships. But we finally take the Conqueror out, and that ship is a little bit OP still. So with the Conqueror dead, we don't have to worry about all of the fires. But the enemy team still holds 2 cap points, and since we're tight on ships, they have the points lead. Now, that rune was back behind this island, and I've still got a lot of my health here. So I'm going to go in, push up, and try and get behind him. Try and torpedo him and see if I can give him a little surprise butt sex. But that rune is no fool. He's pushing to the C cap point, and as I come around this island here, holy crap, point blank rune. Time for a brown alert moment. Now, I'm going to go ahead, get a set of torpedoes off. Only 1 here, but you see here, I'm going to beach myself. And I'm going to do that. It's a tactical response to avoid getting torpedoed by passing in front of him. Fortunately for me, the rune at that kind of range had no room to maneuver and dodge, so I take him out, and all 5 of my torpedoes hit him. Only needed 2 to kill him, but it's always nice to watch all 5 of those torpedoes hit their target. And also, fortunately for me, the rune only has 1 turret at the front of the ship, so he wasn't able to get more firepower to bear on me. Sorry, rune, you had the misfortune of running into a tier 10 destroyer at point blank range, who still had most of his health. With rune dead, my team now is technically in the lead as far as ships, which is keeping us in the game as the points totals are now very close. But the enemy team is also backed off out of the B cap point. So I'm going to take the opportunity and push up into the B cap point, along with some support from a couple of the battleships here, in an effort to try and get that cap back under our control so that we can start getting that points advantage. There's still plenty of time left in this battle for the battle to go either way, and the Z-52 has managed to take out our Donskoy. That means we're down a radar cruiser. And the Donskoy is going to get a bit salty about that destroyer in chat there, as you can see there. Well, unfortunately, it does happen. That's what they're good for. Push up into the B cap point, start taking it, and looking at the situation, there's the enemy North Carolina. Now, the enemy Iowa is back down that channel somewhere, and I'm kind of hoping that as this North Carolina passes between those 2 islands into that channel, that I can get torpedoes off at both him and the Iowa, and maybe pick up 2 kills. Enemy Baltimore pops up there. He's not got a lot of health left, and I'd really appreciate it if my team could finish him off. Now, shots are going to come in on that Baltimore there. You can see them there, but watch this. RNGesus ever the troll, leaving that Baltimore with just 146 health. Holy crap. That's got to suck for the player who just put that hurt on. Speaking of putting the hurt on, that North Carolina continues through that channel there, and he gets taken out by one of my torpedoes. So that's going to be my 3rd kill in the game. Currently detected by the Baltimore's radar, but that radar didn't last very long. And looking at the enemy position, we've managed to take out the Z-52. Now, he was briefly within my visual range there, and he had a lot less health than me, so I knew then and there that if I ran into him, I could absolutely take him. Now, that Iowa is being very smart there. He's continuing to reverse. He's going to use that island for cover. But look at that Baltimore. That Baltimore, very low health, managed to take him out with a torpedo. And that seems like a little bit of a waste of a torpedo. Definitely a kill steal, though. Still, though, I'll take it. That's 4 kills for me and 232,000 damage. Managed to secure the B cap point, shot down a couple of the catapult fighters launched by that North Carolina. And with those out of the way, I can go ahead and push up here. Now, this Iowa has recovered some health. Remember, we did quite a bit of damage to him, as I'm going to push up here with the Missouri. I'm kind of thinking this Iowa is going to be a little bit more distracted by the Missouri, but no, he is definitely going to shoot at me. So very smart here. Now, what I'd really like to do is get some Indiana Jones music and cue this, just like the boulder here as he's pushing up here. I'm going to exit stage right here and get 1 set of torpedoes out at him, because 1 set is all I need. As I hit him with more shots there, he's very low health. Finish him off. There's my Kraken unleashed. And 235,000 damage done at this point. 5 kills. But, you know, half of that, more than half this damage so far, was all done to that one ship. Speaking of one ship, there's only one ship left on this side of the map for me to shoot at, and that's a relatively full-strength degrosser here. The other enemy ship is a Neptune, and while I don't really want to deal with him, he was last spotted heading towards the sea cap point. And that is actually where he's going to go, and I'm kind of happy that he's going to try and take it. He's not going to stop playing until the very end here. Now, this degrosser has got a choice of targets to shoot at. He's got an Iowa pushing around one side of the island, but he's got a low health Amagi here, and this Amagi definitely needs some assistance. Now, I get torpedoes off down towards that degrosser based on the fact that it kind of looked like he was going to, well, perform a tactical beaching and just sit behind that island and stay alive. Let the Iowa know that there's torpedoes coming towards him because he's playing Ring Around the Rosie with this degrosser. And as a result, I'm not going to be able to get much more damage done. So pop a smoke screen while I'm capping. Gonna try and set them on fire. Maybe push up, see if I can get that 240,000 damage. I did set the fire, and it's just one, so that fire is gonna hopefully burn for a little bit. You see here, the enemy Neptune has started capping the sea cap point, so he's gonna try. And because he's doing that, it's actually slowed down our points progress to victory long enough for me to secure the base and earn victory there. 241,000 damage done in that game. Well, just shy of that. A nice solid amount of credits. Devastating strike because of, I think, the rune. Kraken Unleashed, Liquidator, a medal I never get. Witherer, a medal that I never get. And High Caliber. 15 torpedo hits, 14 floodings caused. Top of the team for XP earned there at 2,500 base XP. Big shout out to Naked Fish in the New Orleans. You did a pretty good job in that game. Third on the team there. And I know you watch my videos and you love my voice. Thanks for the compliment, by the way. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you like the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me in the channel in the new year, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see featured in my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play various games live, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time, and Happy New Year. This is Captain Rye, signing off.